So we got our van. Only because we're gonna live in it, you know.
But we're gonna transform
I'm gonna need you to get on board
into a bohemian oasis.
I'm American. Set to the time lapse.
Oh, it's not.
Hello world, welcome to our life. We are walking to get the van now because we're gonna finally start working on it. We bought the van, it's like a month ago? 2 months ago?
Yeah, 2 months ago from New York.
Concrete jungle where vans they come from. After much patience on my part, we're finally going to start the first part of the van process, which is just to remove all the unnecessary junk that the previous owner, no offense if you're watching this, previous owner, the unnecessary stuff that we won't need. Any thoughts? Are you excited?
I'm super excited because this has taken us forever to finally do. And we have finally taken initiative to do it today.
Yeah. What you got there in your hands?
Our toolkit that we don't really know what we'll do with.
Whoa.
I'm sure it'll come in handy someday.
There's always a plan. We know exactly what we're gonna do.
Don't
Yep.
really know what this is for.
We're gonna hit some stuff with that.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Then we're gonna cut some stuff with this.
We're
There's
probably
a little wire.
okay. That's fine. Yeah.
Those are my tools. And then we're gonna tape some stuff
We're gonna tape. Yeah.
with this.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna, I think this is for, I don't know, for knocking stuff over.
Yeah. For defending ourselves against the van thieves.
Yep, that's what we have so far, so we're gonna figure it out somehow.
Look at it in its majesty. What are we gonna call it? We have to call it something, right?
It's like a creeper van name.
We can't call it a creeper van name because we're not creeper. Well, I'm not a creeper, so I think by default you're also not a creeper. GMC. What if we call it Genie? Gemacy. Gemacy?
Bob. I like Bob.
Maybe we'll ask people for their opinions.
So we are actually gonna drive it back to a better place to gut it.
A better place to gut it, which
You can
is our
kinda
driveway.
Kind of see the back over here. It looks totally like a creeper van. But we're gonna transform
I'm gonna
it
need you to get on board
into a bohemian oasis.
I'm American, all right? So we'll take a vote maybe.
So Aaron is thinking about making it some type of functional van.
Yeah,
with
only because we're gonna
no
live in it, you know?
decor
It seems
whatsoever.
like it might be a good idea.
It's a good thing that I'm here because I kind of decorate his life. So I'm also gonna decorate our van.
Honestly, it's not the worst because I'll make sure that we have a house van that we can actually live in, and then Ruth will make sure that it looks pretty. All right.
Exactly.
So we form two halves of a whole, almost adult.
Almost
Two halves of a whole. Oh, dude, I was actually.
A car! Oh dear. So the creeper van is on its way to park. It's actually kind of taking us a little bit. Can't fit in that spot, but we're trying. Creeper van 101. Learn how to drive these big boys. Okay, so we've been here for a little bit trying to park into that spot right next to the trash can, and it's kind of been a little difficult, and I can't help Aaron because I don't know how to drive yet, so that's gonna be an interesting life battle. I'm gonna have to learn how to drive this thing. Hashtag low budget living. But we have finally made it. Kind of. So that took 20 years. And
20 years, but
you
we
still
are-
can't get out.
We're 20 years older and wiser, and I'm gonna get out on the passenger side. Oh, hello. But anywho, this is the inside of our van. If you take a look right here, useless information. Yeah, this is the inside of our van. We have not touched it really since we bought it. So, let's take a step inside. Yeah, so this is kind of what we're working with. He had a small business, so he was using a lot of this. He even included these poles for setting up like a canopy on the side of the van. Don't know if we'll ever actually use those.
We totally are, because we're going to have movie dates outside.
Yeah, we're for sure going to use them. That's what I said. We're going to use them. We're going to find every use for them. So I think what we're going to do first is probably just sweep all this crapola out. And then we're going to remove some of this wood because we won't need it.
With the tools that we got.
Yeah, with the tools that we introduced earlier.
I don't really know what this is for.
So stay tuned. Alright, so the plan. Ruth is gonna get started sweeping. We're really just gonna clean everything out because there's a lot of crap in here. We're gonna remove these shelves. They're shelving all the way around. I don't know if you can see.
Right here as well.
Yeah, there's basically shelving all the way around, and we're wanting to just kind of start fresh. All right, so we have taken out all the shelving. It's still kind of dirty. I guess we didn't really finish sweeping. I guess that was kind of my job.
So we're already kind of like daydreaming and seeing what we're gonna do. And I think this is gonna be the closet. 75% female, 25% male, right?
Whoa. That's not equal opportunity. I think the last thing we're gonna do today is remove these bench seats. So we can get it completely clear and then finish sweeping. Any thoughts, comments, concerns, wishes?
No, I think we're good.
Are you hungry?
Not really.
I'm pretty hungry. Hello everyone, welcome back to our Life on Wheels. Here I am inside the van. We've got almost everything removed. We had to stop on Friday when we were working because Sabbath was coming, but I am ready to continue on. Ruth is actually studying, so it'll just be me putting in some work right now. But basically, it's clear of all the boards that were up here, and I'm just in the process now of finishing sweeping and then trying to handle all the rust that's on the ground. You can kind of see the floor doesn't look terrible, but there is definitely some rust that could be a problem later on in the van's life, in our life. So I'm going to clear that out. This is actually a pole. I'll show you. The previous owner put on a, put on an arm. I don't even know what you'd call this, but it's for like a canopy. So you can use these poles and hang a tarp or a tent. Not a tent, a tarp. Canopy. Either way, that's what this is for. So we're just sliding this out of the way. I wasn't super excited to have it. Just seems like a lot of metal hanging around, but Ruth says we should keep it, so we will keep it. So I happened to find a crank flashlight, which the owner apparently left. So I'm gonna see if it works. It's a no-go. It's a no-go. All right, so now that we have everything swept, you can see just how ugly the rust is. It's a whole lot of rust. A lot of rust. I don't think it's actually eaten through in any areas, which is great news, but it is gonna be a little bit work. Does this look uncomfortable? Surprisingly, it's not. It's kind of like having a scarf on, but for your chin. Now you can use sandpaper, a wire brush of your choice, or a larger wire brush of your choice, or use circular wire wheel. I think it's called a wire wheel. But basically you can just insert this into the end of your drill. And just like that, you have something for it to grind with. You're gonna need your trusty chin mask. You're gonna need eye protection. Technically this is not good eye protection. This will be my eye protection for all intents and purposes. You're gonna need some gloves. Always wear proper safety equipment because I don't want you to die. Less importantly, because I don't want to get sued. Can you sense my confidence? Let's get to this. Here we go. In the event that you are doing something similar and you need to remove the rust from the floor, this is the way to go about it. So we can see the brown spots are the rust spots. And we're just going to sand them away. And just like that, you can see the metal is now bare. We're gonna do this for the whole van, so that will take quite a while. You can also do this with the wire brush. It takes a lot more life essence. Gotta muscle it away, I guess. I'm probably gonna have to use this for the smaller, tighter areas anyway, so no one escapes. Alright, so I have been going for, I guess, maybe an hour. And my battery died, so I gotta switch it out. But I thought I would take this time to explain the value of heavy duty tools or patience, neither of which I have. So it seems like I'm able to kind of brush through some of the surface rust, but it looks like there's some metal that's like darker colored, like a brown, like reddish brown. And I don't know if that's rust or if that's just the metal or if that's a bleak future. I don't know. So what I may do is just sand down the loose rust and then use like a rust converter that basically neutralizes the rust, whatever rust may be present. So anyway, I was just wanting to iterate the importance of either having a heavy duty enough power tool that you can eat through all that rust, or having enough patience to deal with having a light power tool. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep going, I guess. I'm not gonna get very far very fast, which made me a little sad, but it's okay. You know why? Because I have no other option. It's another day. I ran out of time that one evening, and so I'm back here trying to continue working. I have good news. I have purchased an angle grinder, which is, I think, what I should have done in the first place. So this should make light of the work, or make easier of the work. So I'm gonna just keep on trucking. And last thing, because I did up the ante on my power tools, I also did go ahead and purchase some over the glasses goggles, because, you know, trying to keep this vision 2020. It's not actually 2020, it's like, it's really bad. And here we have Ruth, the lovely wife, who is walking the lovely dog. Hello?
Raya.
Oh, hello!
Hi, Juicy.
Ruth is walking Ryo to make all this possible. So if you have a Ruth in your life who walks the dog so that you can prepare your future home, HUG-ARUF.
That's me.
HUG-ARUF today. Love you.
Love it, so.
Okay, bye. Wow. That is a world of a difference. A world of a difference. Yeah, so I guess all I needed was just a more powerful tool. That's all I really needed. There's a lesson in there somewhere. Sometimes in life, you just need a more powerful tool. right, everyone, it has been a very long time. It's been at least a month that I've been working on trying to get all the rust out. It's been taking forever, mainly because I only have like 30 minutes to 40 minutes a day, maybe if that, to work on it. So today is a very beautiful Sunday, and it's clear and it's warm. And so today is the day that I'm going to finish derusting and then get the rust converter and the primer and the paint down, and we will be all finished. It's Ruth!
Don't show them that I'm not working at all in the van.
It's okay, dude. You're working on, what do you do, like makeup or something? Ah, wait, Ruth came out to see how I was doing. It's okay. You're gonna work eventually.
Love you.
What do you think? Wait, come back.
Dude, this is incredible, and I feel so freaking guilty that
No, don't feel guilty.
you
Don't feel
like
guilty.
legit derusted the whole floor of our van, and I can't believe you did that by yourself. Like,
Well.
I'm so excited. Yeah, thank you.
All right, so I don't think I actually have anything to say.
Okay, well,
I'm really happy to see you though.
love you. Bye.
Love you too.
See
Bye.
you later, alligator.
In a while, chomp. All right, so I've finished brushing everything. I did some more sweeping. I got kind of a little obsessive compulsive on the sweeping. Just don't want any dust for when I paint and prime. And so, yeah, this is what it looks like. I don't know that it looks too terribly different, but yeah, most of the rust is gone. I didn't do a perfect job. I'm just wanting to get most of the rust, especially most of the obvious rust. I didn't go too deep. Because I'm planning on using the rust converter anyway. But yeah, now what I'm gonna do, I've got acetone. This is gonna kind of strip any oils or grunge or grease that may be on the floor. I don't know that there is, but this just helps to make sure that the anti-rust or the rust converter and the primer and the paint all adhere with as few problems as possible. So acetone, you're gonna wanna make sure you've got some gloves and then some other gloves to go on top of those gloves, gloveception. And I saw really good reviews on Amazon for the VHT rust converter. I got a Rust-Oleum Auto Primer and then Rust-Oleum Auto Enamel. So I'm gonna do 2 coats of the rust converter and then probably just, well, like 2 heavy coats of the rust converter and then probably 2 light coats and then another 2 light coats. I'm not a painter, so this could be a terrible idea. But all I got's what's in here and also what I read on Google. I don't know how I'm gonna do it because I have to stand in the van to paint the van. So I don't know how the whole multiple coats thing is gonna work. Let's get into it. Okay, so that did not go as planned. I most definitely told myself, hey, since you're on a budget, it's much better to buy not enough paint, because then you just buy more spray paint. That was a terrible idea, because if you run out of paint, you can't leave to get more paint while you're painting. So I mean, I guess I can buy more and wait like 48 hours to get more paint and reapply it. It's just a letdown, you know? It's a big, thick letdown. I really thought, like, at the beginning of this, I thought I was a professional. I mean, I didn't think I was a professional. I work a front desk. But I was like, you know, spray paint. I read a couple articles online. How hard could it be? I spent probably about 30 minutes just walking back and forth around the van trying to figure out how I was gonna paint the floor without walking on the floor. So there's rust converter on everything, right? So at least the rust that existed was killed. Rest in peace. So paint no primer, primer no paint. So this has been oh so humbling. Now it's sunset and I've got to sit out here in the dark and let it dry. 3 cheers for planning ahead. Hip hip hooray. Hip hip hooray. Hip hip hooray. Ha, hello, hello. Here we are, many days later. I ended up having to buy a bit more paint and then put a couple more coats down. So I didn't get that on film, but it was super quick. Covered everything up with black paint, so it looks a lot different now. It is very, very glossy. It was like, yeah, it was gloss, so it looks glossy naturally. There's like these holes. This was probably screwed in or drilled. And then there's some other holes that may just be from processing. Don't know why they're there, but I feel like that could be a problem. So I'm just gonna cover those. And I actually spent a lot of time brainstorming, a lot of wasted time actually. Well, maybe not wasted, because I saw a guy use pennies and super glue the pennies to the floor. But then I was like, I have some holes that are bigger than pennies, so what am I gonna do? I was gonna use fiberglass, but it's really cold and it's not gonna be warm enough for fiberglass to cure anytime soon. So I realized I had from long ago, this is Gorilla Glue mounting tape. It's basically just rubber with adhesive on both sides. So I'm really only gonna use one side of the adhesive. I'm just gonna cut pieces off and I forgot the scissors. Peel off one side of the adhesive, stick it down and cover each hole. It's waterproof, so won't really have to worry about it. I imagine won't have to worry about it rotting short term. I mean, everything rots eventually, right? So this is how it's going. Pretty straightforward. I just cut strips off the roll and then I stick it on the hole and it covers it pretty instantly. Here's me doing one for the memories. Man, it's hard to see on camera because it's black. Let's see. Ta-da. Ta-da. Okay, now let's do the rest of these. One quick slight problem we found, well, we is me, but we're a team, right? So we found this. It's a bolt sticking out that I forgot about, painted over it. I have to remove it somehow so that the ground will be more level than it is now. Here it is in all its majesty, causing problems. So I've got these medium duty bolt cutters. Fun fact about these bolt cutters. So Ruth and I bought these when we got married, not when we got married, but before we got married, so that we could make stuff, because we did like kind of a DIY wedding. So we bought these planning to return them after. Lost the receipt, many months passed, and here I have them. feel like this is gonna hit me in the eye. All right. Here we are. Here we are. Don't know what, oh, there it is, cool. Wasn't sure what the damage was. This little guy is not gonna be screwing up our plans.